Hey, Don McDowell with Shake, Rattle, and Troll Outdoors. I want to introduce Woody Farnsworth from Youth Outdoors Unlimited, partnering with Arizona Game and Fish, Craig McMullen's group, Hunting, Angling, Heritage Work Groups. Woody, thank you for doing what you're doing with these guys. It's really important. You know, as we've talked with Craig and some of the other 29 or 30 partners from the Hog Group, it's really important, and again, thank you for what you're doing to focus on the family, the kids, the adults that want to, first of all, learn how to do some of the outdoor sports that we're blessed with here in Arizona, that Arizona Game and Fish is making available to us. How did you get involved? How long have you been involved with the Hog Group?
I've been at the Hog Groups ever since the second meeting. I wasn't involved at the first meeting just because I didn't know about it. But one thing that the Hog has done for us is it's brought the different groups together in a forum where we talk to each other. Now we're partnering instead of competing in the same area. We're spreading these things out so we cover the state better. And the partnerships are working out really well. In August we have a predator camp that we're partnering with Phoenix Varmint Callers.
Very cool. Good group, those guys. Yeah.
And it's all about making it work for the kids and the families, and the family is the main part of that. It has to be the family involvement. We can't just make this work with kids being involved.
Well, the thing I want to emphasize, and I've been able to speak to a couple of different groups, this is not a place to dump your kids off. We're not babysitters.
That's correct. That is correct. I mean, if we don't get the families involved, then it doesn't perpetuate and grow. You know, because the kid can't get there on his own. The family has to be involved. They have to be able to take these tools that we give them and go out when we don't have a camp and have a good experience.
Exactly.
And so we do as much as we can to teach them at these camps what they need to know in outdoor skills. And it's not just about hunting and fishing. It's about just going out and enjoying what we have out there and realizing that it's a balanced system, and if we don't participate in them and actively manage these things, that'll be gone. A lot of people think that we can just put these wildlife on a shelf and not touch them, but they don't work that way. The ecosystem has to be managed, and hunters and anglers are the tools that manage those.
Thank you. That is a cognition that a lot of folks don't grasp.
Yes, and the Hog partnership has been very instrumental in getting the groups to talk to each other, because before, you know, the only reason that the Elk Society and the Arizona Deer Association talked is because they shared board members. And a lot of these things were getting to where there's just a few people that showed up to do, and there's a few worker bees, and then nobody else did anything.
Well, you know, you're hitting on, going back to the bell curve, it's about 3% of the people that do the work for the other 97%.
Yeah, that's correct. But now we're getting people, naturally we want the new people in there, but we also think it's very important to get the people who've been there before to come back.
Absolutely.
Because not only recruitment, but retention.
Retention.
And in that retention, you develop, the new people develop an outdoor skill that if you keep them coming back, they'll turn around and share with other people. Now I have kids that started out in one of my javelina camps. I say mine, but Youth Outdoors Unlimited. And we were with ADA before.
Now, did you guys do the javelina camp earlier in the year in Kingman? Was it?
No, we do in the springtime. January is the junior javelina hunt, and we do it in 20C every year,
okay,
which is Region 4. And we chose that unit because it's the only unit that has javelina in Region 4. And so it never rotated. It was always in the same unit, where if you go to Region 6, it rotated, and you never knew which unit was going to be until the regs came out. Well, by having it in that spot, we had it in the same spot every year. And it just grew and grew because people could depend on it. And the one year when we had the big rainstorms in January,
yeah,
and everybody's canceling their camps, I had the Game and Fish put on it, rain or shine, we're there.
Okay, cool.
My philosophy was that if one kid showed up and we weren't there, that we failed.
Absolutely.
And so we went and we bared the weather. We had 80-mile-an-hour winds.
Hey, that's
the first
part
night.
of it, man.
But hey, you know what? Those kids know that we're dedicated.
Do this for me. Profile your camp, because there's a lot of elements that go into outdoor skills. We have to learn ethics, hunting ethics, being a good sportsman, being a conservator of our environment. We get into camping, food preparation, and then what you're talking about, a key element to that is hunter safety ed. Then we're getting into firearms and firearms certification. How do you profile your camp and encompass all of that into?
Most of the time, we'll do one hunter ed camp a year, because that's, I mean, with all of our schedule and everything, that's all we can do.
Now, is that a prerequisite to coming to a hunting camp?
If in Arizona law is that kids can hunt big game when they're 10 years old, but they have to have the hunter education certificate.
Exactly.
After they're 14, they don't need that anymore. So we try to target people through our camps and our hunter education. If 90% of them are already gone through all that. But there's people, and we ask, and then we'll give seminars on, and the short course on gun safety is always a predominant thing in our camp. We talk about that morning, noon, and night. Anytime we have a gathering of people in our camps and they're not out hunting, we talk about ethics, we talk about hunter education, mainly gun safety. All of my mentors are schooled that if they see anything going on that's unsafe, that they put a stop to it right away. And it happens, you know. I mean, we've never had an accident in any of our camps, but we've observed unsafe practices and we put an end to it right then.
Exactly.
And not only do we get after them and tell them, hey, you're doing this wrong, we explain why, we explain the proper way to do it, and we go through a little mini course that if we're out in the middle of the hill. It happens right then, not later. It's an instant thing.
What about camping? What kind of things do you teach in, how to set up camp?
Yeah, we'll give, sometimes we get single parents out there, mothers, that don't have any idea about the outdoors. They have little Johnny that decided he wanted to be involved in hunting. His buddies did it, and he wanted to do it. And we'll go through everything. We'll teach them how to set up their tent. We'll teach them, how we cook things, how we prepare things out in the woods. A lot of times, because we have big groups of people, we're cooking on commercial type equipment.
Sure.
But I do Dutch oven meals all the time. Anybody's interested, I show them how to do that.
Peach cobbler?
We do apple crisp, homemade dough.
My man.
Yeah, homemade. And I'm a little picky. I'm a picky eater. So I don't serve anything at my camps that I wouldn't eat myself. And we make everything homemade. If it's spaghetti, it was made at that camp. It was made from scratch.
Good.
I put on a pot of beans everybody tells me is the best. They're dried beans when we start, and they're cooked fresh, and they're really, really good. I'm going to brag a little. We probably have the best food at our camps out of any of them.
What's your next camp coming up?
Our next camp is our hunter education camp at the end of July, which is already full, but I told you I could get you in.
Thank you for that offer. Yeah, I do. I've got a 10-year-old that's been blessed with his first bull elk tag.
Right on.
And in fact, his dad, my son, and I, we all have elk tags. So it's in my family, it's a rite of passage for this young man, Mason, to go out and do the skills.
I've got two sons right now, and they're both career oriented, so I don't have any grandkids on the way yet, but I can't wait.
They're the best. It's all good.
Yeah, because I'm an avid outdoorsman. I hunt, I fish.
That's good stuff.
All over from Wyoming to Mexico.
You've got hunter ed. What other camps do you?
We have a predator camp that we're teamed up with Ray and those guys over at Phoenix Farm and Collars, and that's at Vincent Ranch in August. I think it's the 11th and 12th, whatever that Saturday and Sunday is, right around there. And then after that, we have a junior elk camp in Region 1 in Unit 1.
Okay.
With Mike Godwin. Out of all of the game and fish regions, we get the biggest support from Region 1, and I want to give them a hand, because they, more so than any region, they have more participation from the department in that region.
Cool.
Region 4 has been a great supporter of ours, and they don't have as much participation from the region, but the game wardens in those units are phenomenal participants. We're in our second WM in that area because the first one retired, and he still comes to our camps.
Awesome. If folks want to get a hold of you, discover what you're doing, how do they reach you guys?
The best way to get a hold of us is on Facebook, Youth Outdoors Unlimited, or our website is www.youthoutdoorsunlimited.com.
There you have it, guys. I'm Don McDowell, Shake, Rattle, and Troll Outdoors. Woody Farnsworth,
Thank you very
for
much.
what you're doing. And
I'd like to also, let you know that our sponsors are incredible.
Absolutely.
The amount of money they do, but we have so many people involved in this partnership that I can't say enough about what's going on.
Well, thanks for doing what you're doing. Check them out. Take your kids to these camps. Learn a little something about the outdoors. I'm Don McDowell.